I was in the middle of, I don't know how much you got, but I might have to revisit it again. So let me see some hearts and some thumbs up, all right? I want to share something with you. There is there's a time that you look at things and you ask yourself to question. Well, at least I ask myself, am I making any difference? Does my life count? Have I been able to influence someone like Mr. Washington, former high school teacher, influenced me? Like Mike Williams, the author of the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, who saw this Les Brown before I saw him. I ask myself that a lot now. And I think because that in the back of my mind, I know that to some degree I have some self-imposed pressure and stress that I have put on myself because I feel like time has picked up speed. I got more yesterdays than I have tomorrows. And I'm I'm questioning myself. Has my life been impactful? Have I been able to reach anybody? Like Mr. Washington reached me, and when he asked me to do something and I told him I couldn't do it, when I stepped in his classroom, I was in the 11th grade, and he challenged me. And I said, I'm not one of your students. And the other students started laughing, saying, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT. And he asked, what's DT? He's the dumb twin. And they erupted in laughter, and I said, I am, sir. And he said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And even though I've never known my biological father, unbeknownst to him, I adopted him as my spiritual father. I liked the way he carried himself. He wore a tie and a coat to school. He wore a suit. You go into schools now, you can't tell the teachers from the students. They dress the same. He stood out. And I liked the way that he dressed. You know how you dress, it makes a statement. And I put my life on a course to be able to impact the lives of adults and young people. Like he influenced me. I'm going to have a training this summer, a youth training, young men and young girls. I'm committed to helping them to develop themselves. I want you to like this page and share it, like it and share it. To help them learn what is required in order to make it in this new economy. There's a scripture, Jesus said, all power is in my hands. But he also said, and I've been meditating on this, he said, he who has ear, let him hear. He who has ear, let him hear. And I'm very clear that my message is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Not for everybody. I'm very clear that there are a lot of young people and there are a lot of adults who won't hear me. I'm clear about that. And I'm, as my friend Karen Bell would say, who's since passed, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. But sometimes I I will engage in a conversation just to get a feel and get some indication where a person might be. And then I would get permission, if I feel it's appropriate, that there's a possibility that we've created some level of communication and connectedness. And I feel that maybe this person can hear me, and I owe it to them. As Mr. Washington must have thought, I'm going to say something to this young boy, and I'm going to take a chance that he could hear me, that he can hear me. So when he looked at me and said, young man, don't ever say you're the dumb twin again. Don't ever answer to DT, the dumb twin. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. He took a chance in saying that to me. I saw this young man, and the reason I'm sharing this with you, I've been here in Atlanta now for 4 months. I think it must be the sagging capital of the world. I've never seen so many young men walking around with their drawers showing. Now, I know I'm in my 70s. I know I'm in my 75th year on the planet, and you might call me an old fuddy-duddy or old geezer, okay? But I don't get that. Here I am in a place where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born and walked these streets and probably shot marbles and played hide and go seek and went to church. And in this day and age, in this knowledge-driven world, this day and age where we have to compete to stay ahead of artificial intelligence, this day and age where efforts of trying to turn back the clock politically, in this day and age, that's very challenging. You can't convince me, and I might be wrong, that Dr. King died so that we would have a generation of young men who don't have enough gumption to pull their pants up. I mean, this is not brain surgery. This is a no-brainer. I mean, to purposely adjust your pants so you can show your drawers and walk with your legs wide open. This is a no-brainer. So before I share what I'm going to share, I want those of you that's in that consciousness, listen to something else. Don't listen to me. I'm not the one. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I'm not hip. I'm not up, and I'm not cool with what's going on. I'm just an old man who's set in his ways about certain things. And I'm not worth listening to you. I'm not worth being listened to by you. And I'm not criticizing you. I want to make that clear. But he who has ear, let him hear. If you're a young person and you're like me, you never knew your father, you never had somebody to give you some guidance and coaching on how to correct yourself, I want to talk to you. If you have some goals and dreams that you want to achieve, I want to talk to you. If there's something special you want to do with your life, like I want to do with mine, I want to talk to you. If your mother is a hard worker like my mother was and struggled single-handedly to raise 7 children by herself, mama was mama and daddy all wrapped in one. Not only did I get a Mother's Day card for my mother, but I also got a Father's Day card. And you might want to, because of your gratitude, I'm a foster kid, and my mama, she took in 7 children. I was among the 7 children that became her foster kids, and then she adopted us. And I wanted to demonstrate how much that meant to me. And I was determined when I turned 18 that mama would never have to work again. I was determined. And if you feel like me, young man, if you feel like that, I said, Mama, when I turned 18, I'm going to sit you down. And I did. She never had to work again. I paid all the bills, took care of everything. And I wanted to buy her home. I told her, one day, Mama, I'm going to buy you a home. She said, oh, Leslie, you don't have to do that. I said, I know. I said, but you didn't have to adopt us either. And you did. If you love your mother so much, young brother, I want to talk to you. Got a message for you. There's some things I want to share with you that I wish I had a father to say to me when I was young, like some of you listening to me right now. And I want you to like this page and share it. Like this page and share it. And if you know a young person, a young man, or a young lady, and their head is screwed on right. Now, this is not for everybody. Let's not waste our time and energy. If Jesus said, all power is in my hands, oh, and by the way, he who has ear, let him hear. He was aware. He had a lot of power. However, he couldn't make everybody listen to him. Now that speaks volumes right there. He knew that people have a choice. And there are people who would rather listen to these young rappers or comedians, and that's much more suitable for them. Because I'm not speaking with a soundtrack and with any rhymes and any beat. No, I'm not bringing it like that. I'm not kicking the truth. I'm not bringing any wisdom like that, all right? No, I'm an old man. Old man. Been here 3/4 of a century, okay? So I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two, but if you can hear me, like a young brother who said, I've been listening to you since I was 6 years old. And I thank you so much for influencing my life. My father used to have you on the radio and in the car when I was 6 years old. I've heard public service announcements you've done on public radio in Atlanta. I heard the speech you gave in the Georgia Dome called It's Not Over Till You Win. I've heard your video, It's Possible, and You Deserve on YouTube. And when my father died, those videos, your motivational materials, They brought me out of a dark place and helped me deal with the loss of my father. And I decided, after hearing your voice, I decided that I wanted to buy my mother a home and take care of her. And I did. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to who could hear me, who could hear me. And you might have someone that you love that you're trying to connect with, and they can't hear it from you. Sometimes they have to hear it from another voice. And so I want you to like this page and share it. And don't say, hey, listen to this guy. You need to hear him, because they're not going to take your advice. Just say, listen to this and tell me what you think. People like to give their opinion. I want to talk to you. Now you might ask, Les, what's encouraging you to do this? Well, I've seen so many young men with their pants down, showing their underwear, and that to me is a reflection of their state of mind. You can tell a lot about a community by the culture, the state of the mind of the community, by how people dress. Now, I've seen some exception. I've seen the little young Muslim brothers out there selling water and bean pies in a hot, burning sun. They're dressed professionally, and they are very polite. My daughter said to one young guy who was selling water and a bean pie, she said, look, I don't have any cash. He said, hey, it's on me, and gave her a slice of bean pie and some water. And he said, I got you. And she said, okay, I'm going to drive back and I'm going to take care of you tomorrow. And it's such a polite young man. The Nation of Islam, boy, they do such an incredible job with young men. I want to talk to you about this, that life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. And I want to talk to you about living a life that will outlive you. Living a life that will outlive you. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been gone over 40 years. And if you put a bunch of Baptists and Jehovah's Witnesses and SCLC and Urban League and NAACP and Catholics and various organizations in a room, and the Nation of Islam, and look in that room and say, who's in there? The only ones you'll be able to identify will be the Nation of Islam. How will you know? One, the men don't wear rings. The women in the Nation of Islam, they will not have any tattoos, nor the men. The men won't have beards. The men will wear suits. They won't have any rings in their nose. The ladies won't. I'm telling you, they will stand out because they have a certain culture that they believe in. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, what he taught, that if you give a person a positive sense of self, that will give their lives a sense of purpose. And when a person's life has a sense of purpose, that will give their lives a sense of direction. And so to young people this summer, to young people, I want to share something with you. And maybe you might already know this and you've been told this. And so pardon me and please excuse me if you have already been schooled on this, because I think, and I'm looking, I think there are a lot of young people that we just ignore them, or they've done things that common sense will say, don't do this to yourself. But common sense is not common. It's not always practiced. And so here's what I want to say to those of you who have ear. I want you to hear me. If you could hear me. So here's number one. Don't make short-term decisions that have long-term consequences. When I was in a hotel in LA, a young guy came in to clean the room. And I said, how you doing, young brother? He said, fine, sir. And he was very respectful and had great communication skills. And as he reached down to pick up the wastebasket, to empty it, I noticed he had a spider web tattooed on his hand that went up his arm. And I was just curious. I wasn't critical. I said, hey, brother. I said, how old were you when you got that tattoo on your hand, the spider web on your hands? He said, man, I was young. How old are you now? 37. But how old were you then? 14. 14? Yeah. How has it impacted your life? He said, I wish I'd never done it. I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. Because sometimes I could say something to your children that you've already said, but sometimes they need to hear it from another voice. He made a decision at 14 to get a tattoo on his hand. Everybody else, all of his homies, they had a sleeve. That's when you get it from your wrist up your arm. He decided to take a step further and have the spider web on both hands like Spider-Man. He decided to put what I call not just a tattoo, a job blocker. You will never go in a bank and find anybody handling your money and they've got tattoos on their neck or in their face or on their hands. That's not going to happen. I know you go to Walmart and various other places and McDonald's, low wage paying places, the lower the wages, the more tattoos that you will see. People have rings in their nose and they have these things in their ears to stretch their ears to make them so large. You could put a saucer or a plate in their ears, something they saw on Animal Kingdom. I don't know what that's about. But remember what I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. If you've tried to stretch your ears and you got a timetable and a schedule, so your ears so long and large, you could put a plate in there. Okay, I'm not casting aspersions on your character. I'm not criticizing you because it's your ear that you might have that hole so big that you could put an iPhone in there. I mean, please don't get me wrong. I ain't talking about you, and I ain't talking to you. Go ahead on, do what you gonna do, okay? Help me, Jesus. Help me, somebody. Tie the yellow bow tie. Tie the yellow bow tie. Okay, I think there's some things I'm seeing to just maybe somebody hasn't said anything. Maybe that's it. Or maybe their parents said it and they just couldn't hear. Because I saw this young lady, intelligent. Got tattoos all up in here, all over here, and including stuff in her nose and everything. I said, well, you mad at your nose one morning you got up and said, I'm going to put a hole in here. She didn't know. She said, my parents told me not to do it, but I wanted to do it anyhow. I said, has it cost you anything? She said, yes. She said, people look at me and judge me, think I'm a thug or they're afraid of me. She made a short-term decision that had long-term consequences. If you go online and look at Seminar of the Century, you'll see me in a blue shirt and a red tie. It was hot outside. Everybody else on the program, all of my white colleagues, they had an open collar. I had on a shirt and a tie. You'll never see me on stage without a shirt and tie. I don't care if everybody else speak in their bathing suit. Why? They can do that. I can't do that. No. They'll get a pass. They have the complexion of connection. I have the complexion of rejection, and I know that. And I carry myself accordingly. I will always dress above my audience, not on the same level or below. Why? It's an unspoken rule. I will never do that. I remember being on the speaking circuit, and I saw this brother, and he was articulate, he was knowledgeable. And there he was on stage in his jogging outfit, and one pants leg rolled up to his knee. And he had some great content, and he delivered it well. So I asked him after his presentation, I said, are you open to some coaching? He said, yeah. How you doing, Les Brown? I said, fine. I said, man, I said, there's a certain decorum. I said, I know these other presenters here, the light expression people, they can be casual and have jogging suits on. They come up in swimming suits if they want to. I said, but you and I are not viewed the same. I said, man, that's not a good thing. He said, oh man, I got it like that. I can wear anything I want. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. What do I know? I've just started off my 75th year on the planet. What do I know? One of my speakers was using profanity on stage, trying to be like Tony Robbins and Gary Vee. And I called him. I said, you know better. Have you ever heard me use the F word on stage? No, sir. I said, don't let me get a call anymore about you. You won't, sir. And to his credit, he stopped. I said, you don't have to do that. That's not cute. You're not Gary Vee. You're not Tony Robbins. I've been out here 50 years. You see me up on stage cursing and calling people all types of names? No. It's not because I don't know the words. It's not because I'm some saint. No. But there's a certain sense of decency and self-respect and a standard. You know, one of the things I love and admire about President Barack Obama was his standard of his language, the class of how he carried himself. We're living in a time where there's no sense of decency. Anything goes. And I believe, and young people, young brothers and young sisters, don't make short-term decisions that have long-term consequences. Don't try and be like everybody else. When I look at my life and how I got here, what allowed me to be able to speak in over 51 countries and been able to speak for major corporations and seen as a credible resource, even though I was born in an abandoned building on a floor, and I was a foster kid and adopted and never knew my birth parents, raised and born in Liberty City in Miami, an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother, that my mother and I listened to her. She taught me not to follow the crowd. When Mother's Day came around, we gave Mama a Mother's Day card. And when Father's Day came around, we gave Mama a Father's Day card. Why? She was Mama and Daddy all wrapped in one. If you want to be successful, don't follow the crowd. Don't be monkey see, monkey do. Go the opposite of the crowd. Fortunately, I've never had to tell any of my sons, you'll never see one of my sons with earrings or tattoos all over them. That's not happening on their neck and in their face, like Mike Tyson. No, never had to tell them. Never had to tell them. That's not happening. And today, in an economy where over 20,000 jobs are being lost every month to artificial intelligence. Today, where jobs are being lost to the rise of the robots, technology, and they have big trucks, the United Postal Service, that's driving cross country to deliver mail, unmanned. You know how many jobs, when they perfect the computer technology for trucks to deliver goods all across this country, and it's controlled by a computer, you know how many jobs that's going to impact? We're going through a place of accelerated what I call creative destruction. Things that's being created that was destroy jobs. They've got computers that can mix drinks, computers that can serve hamburgers, computers that can create a salad. I'm not making this up. That in less than 10 years, over 47 million jobs will be replaced by apps and artificial intelligence and outsource. In less than 10 years, there won't be any such thing as employees, be contractors. Companies will contract you. You will work from home. You won't get up and go into some large building. A lot of people are working from home right now. And they won't pay your health insurance. You be a contractor. You pay your own health insurance. Today, if you want to become successful, and this is just for people who can hear me, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Like this page and share it. You know somebody, some young person that need to hear this. Like this page and share it. I was talking to a human resource director, and a person came in to be interviewed. And she said, listen, she said, Mr. Brown, my schedule, I've gone over the limit. I need to talk with you further. Do you mind just sitting in here while I interview this person? I said, not at all. No problem. I got the time. And this young lady came in, and they started talking. Now, you can't make this kind of stuff up. And in the course of the conversation, around 20 minutes into the conversation, this young sister, who was like 24 or 25 and had two to three babies out in the lobby, she took her feet out of her sandals, went in her purse and took out a bottle of Jergens hand lotion and started rubbing her feet. I looked at the human resource director, and she looked at me. I said, "This must be surreal. This, there must be some cameras around here. This is special." She's not rubbing her little feet because they were ashy. In a job interview. What do you say to that? I want to see some thumbs up, some hearts. If you feel me, if you understand what I'm talking about, I want to know if you hear me out there. What do you say to that? What do you say? Oh no. That was a jaw dropper. Now nobody told me this. I saw this. Dr. King didn't die for that. Dr. King did not die for young men to be walking around with their pants below their butts. No. Malcolm did not die for that. No. All the people who sacrificed their lives, lost their jobs, went to jail, faced dogs, and were water holes, they didn't die for that level of ignorance. No. Yeah, call me an old man. I'm old-fashioned. I'm an old geezer. Yes, I am. Yep. Yes, I am. An old geezer who likes Mickey Mouse. I have to laugh to keep from crying. I'm just saying, Lord, please give me some more time. Give me some more time to get these pants pulled up. Give me some more time so I can elevate the consciousness of individuals, young ladies, so they won't go into a job interview and start rubbing some Jergens hand lotion on their feet. Give me some more time, Lord. See, the older you get, it seems like time has picked up speed. We just got into 2019, and look at where we are. We're closing in quickly on June. See, the older you become, time picks up pace. And you see things, and you lose friends. And things happen to people you love. And things happen to you. I'm only here because of God's grace and mercy. And I believe, I have to argue with myself. I said, I got to talk. I said, I'm here for God. I put the P in party. The time that I have left, I've got to speak. Somebody's going to hear me. I did a training the other day for a young brother named Hazik. Hazik heard my voice. And I went as a guest at one of his trainings, and we had an incredible experience. He was going through a tough time and at a very challenging time in his life. And he said he was thinking about hurting himself and decided he was not just going to hurt himself, he was going to spread the pain. He's going to take out the woman he was married to and the guy that she cheated with and himself. And he heard my voice and changed his mind. To God be the glory. And he said, I never thought I'd meet you. Never thought. I had a young lady who wrote me a letter the other day, to the father I wish I had. And she talked about when she heard my voice, how it changed their life. And one of the reasons that I'm training speakers now, we learn, we earn, and we pass it on. That we can't just sit back and allow our kids' minds to be permeated with garbage day in and day out. Music delivers letters, words past the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. What would our children's future look like if they spent as many hours listening to something that could expand their vision of themselves, something that can inspire them, something that can motivate them, something that will empower them? What will our future look like? I guarantee you we'll eliminate the virus of HIV, hood-infected virus, of AIDS, addiction to incarceration, and death syndrome. I guarantee you. See, they say garbage in, garbage out. No, garbage in, garbage stays. And it shows up in your attitude. It shows up on how you dress. It gives you the mindset of such stupidity as, oh man, I got street credibility. I've been to jail, been to prison. I did a nickel. I said, a nickel? What does that mean? I knew what it meant. I just wanted to hear him say it. I was speaking to some ex-offenders. I did a nickel. I said, what does a nickel mean? Hit the old man. Oh, I did 5 years. Oh, your life is only valued a penny a year. They lock your behind up and you saying you did a nickel with pride. Wow. Something has happened. I'm doing a training this summer. I'm going to find a location. Somebody's going to donate me a location. I just want to work with a few kids, about 300, 400. Young men and young ladies who can hear my voice. He who has ear, let him hear. Those of you that can hear me, I don't want you to come and try and push any kids on me, because I want you to come with them. I like to train kids and the parents together. Yeah. It's a family effort. We have to create communities of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. I've been in Atlanta now for 4 months, and I have a granddaughter here and a great-grandson and sister. He who has ear, let him hear. I want to work with people who can hear me. I don't have time for foolishness. I use my time sparingly, spend the majority of my time kicking cancer's butt. But I know the reason I'm here, because of God's grace and mercy, is because my work is not through yet. My work is not through yet. I still got the juice. Don't let this 75 fool you. I still got the juice. I can still bring it. I can still get the butter from the duck. Yes, I can. Don't you challenge me. But I'm seeing some stuff and I'm saying, whoa, whoa. This happened on my watch. Whoa. This person can't be serious. I was in a drugstore, Walgreens, and there was a young lady in there with rollers in her hair and pajamas. I said, is this an Atlanta thing? What? Come on. Pajamas. Rollers and pajamas. The rollers are bad enough. Pajamas. Who does that? What did you say, Les? Nothing? Nothing. Are you kidding me? She'd never cursed me out. I didn't say nothing. Anybody who don't have enough sense to know you don't go out in public with pajamas on and rollers in your head, don't say anything to them. It's none of your business. Just look at them and just send a prayer and say, Lord, this is your child. Help him, Jesus. Help him, Allah. Jehovah, Melchizedek. Okay, all y'all need to help her. I want you to like this page. Somebody say, yeah. I mean, I've seen it all. Okay, what in the world? Oh, somebody say, you look like you're in your 40s. Well, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you. Somebody else said, I'm looking about 50. She done put 10 years on me. Come on, Shamika. All right? Okay, but listen to me, okay? Somebody asked, what time of day was it? What difference does it make? If it was 10 o'clock at night, you telling me it's appropriate to wear pajamas in public in Walgreens at 10 o'clock at night? I don't care. You don't come out the house in your pajamas. No. Is that an Atlanta thing? I don't know. I just got here. I don't know. Maybe I'm not hip. You know, I got on Mickey Mouse underwear, but I ain't showing. I don't care what time it is. Oh, behave, whatever. Here's something else. Don't make short-term decisions that have long-term consequences, young people. And here's something else. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't follow the crowd. A young lady that I trained to become a motivational speaker, she's an attorney out of Detroit. She pulled into a service station to get some gas. And two young guys were there. They're in about 10th grade. And one approached her and told her to back away from the car. And she backed up. He indicated that he had a gun. He took the gas hose out of the car. As she backed up, he got in the car and he signaled to his friend, come on. And his friend got in the car. Now the guy who came up to rob this speaker, this attorney that I trained, he had a record of being in and out of juvenile detention centers. The young boy that he called to get in the car, he didn't have any criminal record at all. So my mentee went around on the passenger side and she asked the good boy, who'd never been in any trouble, would you pass me my Bible, please, and my purse? And he said no. And the guy who was always in and out of juvenile detention center, he drove off. When they were captured, I was called to come to court to be a character witness for this young guy, because in the state of Michigan, if you commit a crime and there is a weapon that's involved, you get a mandatory 10 years. And so here these young guys are in court, and the good guy stood to get 10 years, just like the guy who had been in and out of juvenile detention. I'll never forget this. This really hurt me so deeply to my heart. I cried like a baby. And the judge said, look at the people. You got Les Brown here. Look at the people. You've got family members and neighbors and teachers here to vouch for your character. And because you said no, that made you a participant. When the owner of the car asked for her Bible and her purse, because you said no, that made you a participant in armed robbery. And the law is, and she hit the gavel and started to cry, boom, you got mandatory 10 years. I'll never forget that. He was a good boy. And a short time thereafter, he committed suicide. He was a good boy. And I used to do a speech about it. I said, the speech was, he said no to the wrong person. See, when his friend got behind the wheel and say, hey, man, come on, he should have said no to him. That's who he should have said no to. He should have said, no, man, no. I ain't doing that. You go ahead. I'll catch up with you. I ain't doing that. I'll see you tomorrow or later on. But I'm not getting in this car you just took from this lady. He said no to the wrong person. He said no to the driver when she asked for her purse and her Bible. That made him a participant in armed robbery. And he got sentenced to mandatory 10 years. A lot of our young people today don't think. They're not thinking, and they're not listening. One of the worst elements to deal with is arrogance and ignorance. I think about my youngest son, John Leslie. When I was teaching him things and he was hell-bent on being a rapper. Now he has a son. Guess what? He doesn't even let my grandson listen to rap music. Guess what? He's not encouraging my grandson to be a rapper. Guess what? He's teaching my grandson how to speak. I did a quote the other day, and he had my grandson on video saying, why is Grandpa giving my speech if you want to think bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it? If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, why is Grandpa giving my speech? And John Leslie said, that's Grandpa's speech that I've been teaching you. Now that he's a father, now the things that that I said to him that he thought I was old-fashioned, that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I wasn't hip, that these brothers are kicking truth, a lot of truth and wisdom in their rap songs. Now that he has a son, he has the unmitigated gall not to even allow my grandson to listen to stuff that he spent hours listening to. Who's the old fuddy-duddy now, all right? Boy, let me tell you something. God's got a sense of humor. Oh, my God. All things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Like this page and share it. Like it and share it. And so I'm only talking to young people that can hear me. Let me tell you, this training I'm going to do, let me share with you what's in there. Number one, how to live a life that will outlive you. This is what this is based on. That life is is God's gift to you. And how to live a life that will outlive you. And when you see these little young Muslim brothers dress in suits and bow ties selling bean pies in a newspaper, polite and professional, clean cut. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad been gone for over 40 years, but he left a culture in place. Give a man a strong sense of self, that will give their lives a sense of purpose. Once their lives have a sense of purpose, that will give their lives a sense of direction. He taught do for self. He taught eat to live, not live to eat. He taught having a sense of purpose and direction with your life. And the impact of that culture, the impact of the Nation of Islam that this man created still stands today across this country. His impact, he's impacting generations from the grave. That's the kind of life that I choose to live. The people who could hear my voice, he who has ear, let him hear. People that I could train, people that could identify with my message. It's not for everybody, only for a small number of people. It's not for everybody. I don't even want to waste my time with everybody, only a small number. The masses, let them go see these comedians who got the filthy mouths. Let them pack stadiums to hear the rappers. I want a small number. The road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it. Why? Because few there be that have the consciousness. Few there be that have the vision. Few there be that are disciplined. Few there be that are knowledgeable. Few there be that feel chosen. Few there be. Few there be. They have the level of awareness and sense of purpose and direction to embody what's required to live an expanded life. Why do you like Mickey Mouse so much? Because it's a symbol of happiness. And it makes me laugh. I have to laugh to keep from crying. keep from crying. I've gone to so many young people's funerals. When I was a kid, I went to old people's funeral. When I was a kid, somebody bullied you. You didn't go hang yourself. You didn't commit suicide. No. You went and told some friends and you came back and you gave them a touch up. I remember a guy named Lee Arthur Kelsey. He used to beat my butt every day just because he could. he outweighed me by 10 or 15 pounds. And boy, he would chase me home every day. And I would start yelling about 2 blocks from home, "Mama, open the door, open the door." Lee Arthur's after me. And I'd run in the house because Mama had opened the door. And one day, he was chasing me. And just when I was coming up on the porch, I said, "Mama, open the door." Mama slammed the door and locked it. And I was shocked, and Lee Arthur grabbed me by the neck and slung me off the porch. And I was screaming. I said, "Mama, help me." And she didn't say a word. And Lee Arthur just started beating me up as he usually did, just because he could. And there was a soft drink out that was going to compete with Coca-Cola. That soft drink was called Topo-Cola. It was a ripoff. It was a copy, Topo-Cola. And while he was holding my head down in the dirt, my hand happened to touch a Topo-Cola. And I took that Topo-Cola and I bust him in the head. And blood started skeeting everywhere. He got up off me, too. And he panicked when he saw his blood in his hand. And he ran home. So they had to take him to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Next day, he came to school. His head was all bandaged up. And he said, "Man, what happened to you?" And Leslie, he hit me in the head with a Topo-Cola bottle. Guess what? Lee Arthur didn't mess with me anymore. No, he didn't. No, he said, you don't, I mean, just because somebody bully you, you don't decide, "Oh, he bullied me," and then go home and hang yourself. The suicide rate of young people between ages 5 and 11 has doubled. Has doubled. No, something, you bully me, why would I take myself out? No. What kind of thinking is that? I'm looking for people that will play on motivational messages. I'm going to put together a series of motivational messages. And I'd like to see people driving around Atlanta with my voice and different other speakers, positive messages coming out of our car windows. So that people can have a choice to listen to us or listen to some of this garbage that's out here they call art. Yeah, because there's never been a statue erected to a critic. People have that music blasting like you want to listen to it. If I wanted to listen to it, I have it on in my car. And so it's not about criticizing them, and I'm not. I'm just not into sagging pants. Sagging, S-A-G-G-I-N. Sagging, I spoke in prison. Hey, young boys, I'm an old man. What y'all call that? How you wear your pants below your bands. How you wear your pants below your butt. We call it sagging. Is that right? How you spell that? S-A-G-G-I-N. Excuse me? Do it again? S-A-G-G-I-N. If you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. If you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. Spell it again for the old man. Saggin. I said, yeah. Now spell it backwards. Whoa. Spell it backwards. Whoa. Oh, behave. Don't mess with me. I'll cut you wide and deep. Don't you mess with me. That's what Mama used to say. I'll cut you wide and deep. I'll beat you till the cows come home. They have no idea. I go in these prisons, beat them all doing push-ups and everything else. Can't do that now. This cancer treatment I'm on. But they don't have a clue. Worst combination to deal with. I talked about this earlier. Arrogance and ignorance. When you don't know and you think you know. That's why Jesus knew that kind of thinking affected the masses. And he said, hey, all power is in my hands. However, he who has ear, let him hear. This is not for everybody. This is just for a select few of you who are down with me and could hear my voice and can do something with what I share with you. I hope this time that we've spent together, I hope you call somebody, some young person, particularly young brothers, but the young sisters are just as jacked up as they are. Hopefully they heard something of value. Let me see what your comments are. You know, we've got my Walgreens on here. Let me see. Michael Ponte, hello, my brother. Hey, man, get ready. Well, you gave a good speech when we were out of town. Yes, indeed. Okay, people are praying for my health. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you so much. Kareem Ellis, you got fired. Does that mean I'm on fire? Virginia, I love you, Les. I listen to you almost every day. Thank you for all that you do and for your impact. Thank you. Okay. Diana, she said, amazing. I love listening to you. Okay, thank you. I sent this to my son. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, there are things that I can say they can hear from me that they can't hear from you. Anika, Shirley, in the mighty name of Jesus, she said the treatment of Jesus will heal you again. Whoa, thank you so very much. I believe that's why he's got me here. I've been hearing your voice for the last 2 years, Mr. Brown. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Look at Kareem said, you're burning down the building, brother. Now, let me tell you something. That brother Kareem, that's a bad boy. Kareem Ellis? Oh, he's a bad boy up in here. Up in here. Y'all got to hear him. He's a bad boy. But I just hope. My goal is to do my training this summer with young people. It's called the Les Brown Yes Program. What will it cover? Number one, it will change their mindset. They'll leave there with a blueprint for their future and motivational messages they can listen on a regular basis. Number two, it's going to teach them how to become effective communicators, how to negotiate, how to present themselves, how to sell themselves, how to sell an idea, a product, or service. A third thing, teach them how to dress like a prospect and not a suspect. A fourth thing, it teaches them how to develop relationships that's an asset to them rather than a liability. And the fifth thing, teach them how to become a global online entrepreneur. They will learn how to earn money in the room on the computer as they are being taught, even if they have a criminal background. Come on, somebody, as Delatoro McNeil would say. Those are the 5 things. And I just want 300. Somebody's going to donate a facility for me to do this training. It's 3 days. I got to do it. I got to do it. I'm not going to put it off anymore. Got to do it. I teach live full, die empty. I miss my brother Miles Monroe, Wayne Dyer. Those brothers gone. Good brothers, gone out of here. We all have an expiration date. I'm here for God. And I believe that the reason I'm a 27-year prostate cancer conqueror, my PSA, which stands for prostate specific antigen, was 2,400. Now it's 0.0. I'm at the Cancer Centers of America here in Atlanta. 0.0. To God be the glory. Come on, somebody. And you know I look good. You know I look good. Oh, look, it's the gray trying to show. I don't play that. Don't be messing here. You mess up, gray hair. Yep. So it's gray trying to get out here. He's trying to have a little revolution. I use mascara to cover out the gray in a minute. Up here, my eyebrow. What y'all doing up here? Hey. Don't come up here messing. I ain't playing with you. Don't come up here. And I got 3 gray eyelashes too. I'm sorry. I got issues. You gotta have strong self-esteem to bring out your beauty secrets. My kids, oh, Daddy, you look distinguished with your gray hair. Is that right? Ask me. Am I trying to look distinguished? You got too much dip on your chip. No, I'm trying to look young at 75. I'm sorry. I tickled myself. And that's it. My mama had a sign on her mirror, oh, Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business. Keep your nose out of my business. Yeah, it got some gray up here. Homie, don't play that. That'll teach you a lesson. That'll learn you. Okay, it's gone now. Yep. A little over here. Okay, so, as I was saying before I was interrupted, Okay, I promise. You know what? You know what's wrong with me? I had some vegetarian food. I was at Soul Vegetarian yesterday and went across the street and had some collard green ice cream. Have you ever heard such? I said, come on now. Y'all made ice cream out of collard greens? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. You pulling my leg. Come on. And it's good. It is good. They had Oreo ice cream, but the collard green, I had to taste that. I go by Soul Vegetarian all the time in another place. But maybe it's the collard greens. Ice cream. What do you have next? Organic collard green pig feet? You know, I have to laugh at myself. But you know, I'm eating organic because that's the healthy way. I remember I used to eat pickled pig feet. I'm not making have a pig's foot in a jar. I don't know if they still have them around today. Pickled pig feet. And pickled the pig's feet. When I was a kid, we used to have chicken necks. How many of you remember chicken necks? No, I'm too old. Doesn't nobody remember that. We used to have neck bones. You know, I'm a vegan now. We used to have neck bones. Boy, I used to clean those neck bones until they whistled. You hear me? And they weren't kosher or organic. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I know these millennials say, what's a pickle pigfoot? Y'all don't know, y'all don't know, y'all ain't hip. You know, what are neck bones? Oh my God. But you know what? I'm still here. I'm 75, I'm still here. Yeah, I don't eat it now. But if I thought I was going, let me tell you something. I thought I'd leave here anytime soon. I would eat some of the fattest, juiciest neck bones and barbecue and pork chops, chicken. Yeah, I chew the chicken bones. I eat the gristle. If I thought I was about to leave here, let me tell you something. I say, y'all bring me a spread. Oh my God. Oh. I leave here with a smile on my face. Let me tell you, I'm sorry. I got issues. I got some work to do. I hope that I've given you a good laugh today. I'm working on my script. This is my script. This is my book. I'm just finalizing my book here. You got to be hungry. This is a good day for me. I just hope that somebody heard me today. And if you're a young person, I'm going to tell you when to reach out to me. I got to secure this place where I'm going to do this training. I want to do this. I got called today about speaking in Dubai, in South Africa yesterday. I think I'm going to do probably 3 or 4 other international trips, and then I will retire, not speak anymore internationally. I want to go back to Dubai, back to South Africa, back to Nigeria. I'd like to go back to Hong Kong. I want to go back to China. Yeah, I got to whittle it down. I got it down to about 6 or 7. I'm gonna bring it down to 3, and that's it. Call it a wrap, and then just spend the rest of the time with my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and the speakers who can hear my voice here in Atlanta. Those who come in, train them how to go out and change the world. I've had a good run. I can still speak, I could train too, but I've enjoyed this so much. And I'm so grateful. I just wanted to make a difference in young people's lives. Like Mr. Washington made in my life. He didn't know. He became my spiritual father when I saw him. Never knew my father. My oldest son has 23andMe trying to find his grandparents. Dad, I think I'm getting close to finding out who your father was and who your birth mother was. I just like to know what they did and not trying to develop a relationship with them. Because Mamie Brown was my mother and my father. I'm just curious, finding some other relatives, some cousins, first cousins and second cousins. This technology, it's fascinating. They can find everybody. I wonder what my father did. What was his profession? My mother, I know one of them had to talk. One of them had to have the gift of gab. Because my kids, they got it too. Yes, they do. I got a daughter, my baby daughter. She's a minister, Union Grove Baptist Church in Columbus, Ohio. She's got a restaurant there. My son Patrick, he's a speaker. Calvin, he's a speaker. Ona, Own Your Dream, she's a speaker. John Leslie, It's Your Time, he's a speaker. Those speaking genes have been passed on. Honor, my grandson, he's a speaker. Yeah. I love Atlanta. Yes, I do. I feel more at home here than any place else in the country I've been. This resonates with me. They say my birth mother was from some part of Georgia. Wood County, I think it was, they said. Wood County. I don't know if there's such a thing. They probably lied on the birth certificate because she got pregnant while her husband was away in World War II. And she got pregnant with twins and came down to Miami, Florida, and gave birth to Wesley and I, and refused to let anybody adopt us separately. That's the last decent thing she did. She told Mrs. Mamie Brown, please keep my boys together. Take good care of them and don't separate them. And Mama did both. She took good care of us and didn't separate us. And that's the last time she saw her birth mother. As I think about Mama, today is John Leslie, my youngest son's birthday. He's 35. And this day, 25 years ago, on his birthday, Mama went to be with the Lord. Mama, I thank you, and I hope I've made you proud. And I'm not through yet. And I hope you forgive me for all the nights you stayed up late worried about me if I was in the back of some ambulance. I wish you lived to see all the things I've done. Thank you, though, for loving me through it all. Don't give up on these kids. All kids are teachable, reachable, and redeemable. If somebody can reach me, and I was crazy, do you hear me? I was crazy. But Mama, boy, that was a tough woman, you hear me? Boy. I remember I went to see Malcolm X, and I went back to Douglas Elementary School, and they would call your name to see if you were present. Back out of Stephen, present. Leslie Brown, I didn't answer. Leslie Brown, I didn't answer. People, hey, she's calling your name. That's not my name. She came over to me, Miss Carr. Leslie Brown, my name is Leslie X. Does Miss Mamie know you are now Leslie X? I don't know. I don't have any slave last name. I'm not from the Brown plantation. My name is Leslie X. That's my name. Mrs. Hunter. She said, let me call Mamie. Miss Brown, did you know Leslie is now Leslie X? I called the roll and I called Leslie Brown several times and he didn't answer. And I approached him. He said his name is Leslie X. She said, send that fool home. When I went home, my sister Margaret, as she ran to meet me, she said, Leslie, you better change your name back because Mama gonna beat you. When my mama got through with me, I was Leslie Brown the next day. Leslie Calvin Brown. Malcolm X was a bad boy. He was bad boy. I became Leslie X for 24 hours. You know, there's a song called What a Difference a Day Make. Well, I could have written that song. I could have rewritten it. What a difference a belt makes. Mama flipped me. Mamie Brown knew judo. She flipped me. Some damn Leslie X. I got your Leslie X up in here. My brother, he never got in trouble. I said, Wesley, you need to get in trouble. You need to do something, Wesley. They think I'm crazy. He said, you are. Like this page and share it. Like it and share it. So on this day, May 22nd, my mother passed on this day. She passed on this day, my youngest son, John Leslie's birthday, 25 years ago. May her soul rest in peace. I don't feel given away. I feel like I was chosen with love, that God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. I miss Mama. Yes, I do. And a sweet potato pie. And when she would be in the kitchen cooking, cleaning chitlins, preparing collard greens, cornbread, she had a song that she loved. Fly the ocean in a silver flame. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, darling, you belong to me. Mama could sing. She used to sing in nightclubs. She was a beautiful woman. She was a gorgeous woman. She covered the ground she walked on. Thank you, Lord. For the gift of her life. Thank you. Thank you. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And these aren't tears of sadness, just tears of gratitude. I'm so thankful for my mother, and I'm thankful for life. I should have been gone a long time ago. I, for a long time, lived a very reckless life that I'm not proud of. But because of God's grace and mercy, He saw fit for me to still be here and for the rest of my life. I just want to do God's work. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. God bless you and God bless your dream. I love you, as George Wallace would say, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Oh, if you were interested in my one-on-one speaker training, and you have the resources to invest in yourself, email me and tell me why you. I'm looking for the one. I was looking for 7, but because of Kareem, I'm not looking for 7 anymore. Why should I work with you? What is it about you? What makes you stand out? Why should I invest my time and energy with you? What do you want to do? What kind of mark do you want to make? I'm looking for certain kinds of people. He who has ear, let him hear. I'm looking for someone who want to make a difference and who would like to create wealth as well, who love to travel to different countries, speak for corporations. I've spoken to over 51 countries. Someone who loves to live a life of adventure. This has been an adventurous life. Boy, where did time go? My God. My email is lesbrown77. And if you are chosen, somebody from my staff, get back to you and let you know what the investment is and what the training is and the schedule. We share with you how to tell your story, extract from you your keynote, how to transform an audience individually and collectively. Share with you how to orchestrate an experience with an audience and have them on the edge of their seat and laugh in their tears. I want you to go online and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. Do that now. Go on Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. I'm going to teach you how to be a beast, how not to take any prisoners and eat the wounded. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to train you, stretch you. Don't come up in here unless you're serious and hungry. Got to be hungry. Thank you so much for listening to me. It's been a good day for me. I miss my mother. I just want to share some personal thoughts with you. Take care.